Welcome to the new video, Old Cryptic on the Liberty 1-cent coin from 1958. D is one of the most interesting late-era wheat pennies ever produced in the history of the United States of America. And in today's video, we're going to explore everything about this small but historically rich coin, its background, design, minting story, varieties, errors, grading, collector demand, and how some examples are worth far more than 1 cent. The 1958 D. Lincoln wheat cent was struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint, and it represents a final full year of the famous wheat reverse design before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, which makes it especially meaningful for collectors who focus on typesets and end-of-series coins. When you look at the obverse of the 1958 D cent, you see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909. And by 1958, this portrait had already been in circulation for nearly half a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The word Liberty appears to the left of Lincoln. The date 1958 with a small d mint mark appears on the right below the date, and the motto "I in God we trust" curves along the top rim. All elements that remain consistent across wheat cents for decades, helping collectors quickly identify authenticity and style. Turning to the reverse, the classic wheat ears design frames the words 1 cent and United States of America with a pluribus unum across the top, and this simple agricultural motif symbolized growth and prosperity, which is why many collectors still consider wheat cents more visually charming than the later memorial cents. From a technical standpoint, the 1958 D cent was struck in a bronze alloy composed mostly of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, weighs about 3.11 grams, and has a plain edge. And understanding these specifications is important because weight and composition are often used to detect counterfeits or altered coins. Mintage for the 1958 D penny was extremely high. Over 800 million pieces were produced, which means that in circulated grades the coin is very common and usually worth only a small premium over face value. But condition is everything in coin collecting, and when you move into higher uncirculated grades, especially with strong luster and sharp strike details, values begin to climb noticeably. Collectors pay close attention to color designation on copper coins, and the 1958 D cent can be graded as brown, red-brown, or red, with full red examples, meaning most of the original mint red color remains, being the most desirable and valuable, particularly in mint state grades like MS65, MS66, and above. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1958 D wheat cent is the existence of rare varieties and errors, and while most pieces are normal strikes, specialists search for double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and die cracks, all of which can add strong collector interest and premium value. The most famous rarity connected to 1958 cents overall is the extremely rare 1958 double die obverse, though that variety is known primarily without the D mint mark, and only a few examples are confirmed, and is sold for very large sums at auction, which has increased attention on all 1958 cents, and encouraged collectors to examine their coins more closely. Even for the Denver issue, minor doubling and die deterioration effects can sometimes be found, and while these are not as valuable as major double dies, they still make great educational finds for newer collectors learning how minting errors occur. When grading a 1958 D cent, experts look closely at Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, as well as the wheat ears on the reverse, because these are the highest points that show where first. In about uncirculated condition, you may see only slight friction on these areas, while in lower circulated grades the details become progressively flatter. Luster quality also plays a major role in mint state coins. A bright, cartwheel shine with minimal marks is far more desirable than a dull or heavily spotted surface, and because copper is reactive, spotting and discoloration can reduce value even when wear is absent. Storage is therefore very important for anyone who owns higher grade wheat cents, and using inert holders, low humidity, and minimal handling helps preserve original surfaces and color. Another factor that makes the 1958 D cent popular in the YouTube coin community is accessibility. It is affordable enough for beginners to collect in high grade, yet complex enough in varieties and grading nuances to keep advanced collectors interested, making it a perfect teaching coin. Many roll hunters search bank penny rolls hoping to find bright red uncirculated examples or interesting error pieces, and while the odds of finding top-grade coins in circulation today are lower than decades ago, It still happens and adds excitement to the hobby. Market prices for a typical circulated 1958 D cents usually range from a few cents to maybe a quarter depending on condition, while certified gem red examples can sell for significantly more, and superb gem pieces at the very top of the grading scale can reach strong three-figure prices because registry set competitors want the finest known examples. Historical context also adds depth to this coin. 1958 was a period of post-war economic expansion in America. Vending machines and small cash purchases were common, and the cent played an everyday role in commerce. So these coins passed through millions of hands, connecting modern collectors to daily life in the late 1950s. For viewers building a Lincoln cent date and mint collection, the 1958 D is an essential slot and often one of the last wheat cents they acquire before transitioning into Memorial Series, symbolically closing one chapter of U.S. coin design and opening another. If you're evaluating your own 1958 D Liberty 1 cent coin, start by checking overall detail, color, and surface quality. Then look for unusual features like doubling or strike errors. Consider having exceptional pieces graded by a reputable third-party grading service, and always compare with recent sales data to understand realistic value ranges. In summary, the 1958 D Liberty 1 cent may seem ordinary at first glance, but it represents the finale of the wheat cent era, carries historical and design significance, offers variety and grading challenges, and provides both beginners and advanced collectors with meaningful collecting opportunities, proving that even the smallest denomination coin can tell a big story when you look closely enough.